Hi, I'm Terry from BrilliantK9. I wanted to show you about our harness. It's an ergonomic design for the dog. So if you watch on the dog, you'll see that it's loose in the front, comes in behind the rib cage. So it's a great tool for dogs that want to back out of a harness, but more importantly, it's comfortable for the dog. If you think about most harnesses and or equipment on dogs, it's coming across the rib cage or across the throat, and it's just restricting the dog's motion and making them more uncomfortable. And dogs, being predators, will pull through pain. So the more pain you apply, they continue to pull through. It's not good for their spine health. And a lot of tools that you put on dogs are going to twist their spine or twerk them this way or that way. So with this, we want to keep a nice natural spine angle. We want the dog to have about 60% of his weight on the front as he walks, which is a natural position for the dog. So the reason that this works so well on a dog is because what it's doing is it's actually working off the girth. So it's working back here on the dog, which is behind their natural core strength. And it's behind what's going to create an opposition reflex. So if you push a dog here through the shoulders, what you're going to find is a lot of times they're going to do that drop down and drive forward against the item. We want the dog to move comfortably, freely, and not restrict their motion and their movement, but not encourage them to drive forward and pull. You put a collar or a leash on a dog and suddenly they move to the end and just sort of stand against it. That's opposition reflex. It's just a natural response. And collars and leashes basically are telling the dog to move against the pressure. The other problem you have with collars and most items is they're coming around here through the throat. You want to leave that area free. You also hear in the shoulder area, this is a natural area where the dog's withers come together, come right into the base of the neck and the top of the spine. So that's an area where also gets commonly pinched. So you'll see on this is completely free, so it allows the dog just to be able to move and move comfortably. So one of the special things about BrilliantK9 is that we are made in the USA. So we're made in Lexington, Ohio, just north of Columbus, about 30 minutes. What that allows us to do is it allows us to make a lot of different sizes. So we have 20 sizes that fits every type of dog. There are 200 breeds of dogs plus minus. Every shape and size of those dogs is different. Some of them have a real deep, come here buddy, some of them have a real deep chest like him and a real narrow waist. And then other dogs are more boxy and square. And then some dogs are hybrids of those. So this is Jackie Chan. He's a dog that's a completely different body style than the dog you saw a minute ago. You can see that he's very broad and definitely, come here Jet, come here buddy. While Jet is much thinner through the withers. Okay, come on. Jackie is much broader through the shoulders and through the withers, and he's a much more significant dog. You take a look at him. The harness again, it's loose and comfy, but it's not going to come off. It's not going to come off of him because he has got a rib cage that's bigger than his waist. What's going to happen is when you put the harness on and it's fit correctly, it goes behind the rib cage. And think about it, the rib cage needs to breathe and expand and move. So if you have something here on the rib cage that's locked on really tight because you're worried your dog might get out of it, what are you doing? You're shutting down your dog's movement, but you're shutting down their breathing as well. So with this moving back further, we're not really worried about the rib cage. Their rib cage is free. It also doesn't let them drop down and drive forward because there's nothing to lean against. So you get away from that opposition reflex. So the harnesses are made differently for each body style and size. So we don't use the same strap style or placement or adjustment, we just don't throw it on. The other thing that BrilliantK9 is nice is we do not use any foam or felt in our harnesses. And the reason that's important is this is going to be sitting on your dog's back, and if it's trapping heat, then you can't really use the harness on hot days. But what we do is we actually use a liner in here that acts like an evaporative cooler. So your dog can go swimming, jump in the lake, the river, whatever. He can be wearing the harness and then go swimming and stay cool. We also trim it in retroreflective. It's high grade, high visibility reflective, same stuff on a fireman's suit. So at night or in low light conditions, it really makes the harness shine and glow. Then we also have the convenient little, I call it the squirrel handle. So you're walking your dog along and he's walking just fine, and all of a sudden the squirrel goes off and he just charges after the squirrel. If you're just standing there pulling your dog back, in Schutzhund training, that's called agitation work. So you're pulling the dog back, the dog is driving forward, you're pulling the dog back. So in Schutzhund, that's agitation training, you want them to go after something. So with this, we have a little squirrel handle here, and I can actually just take and say, hey, we're not going to do that anymore. We can turn around, do a little refocus work the other direction, and it stops that agitated going after the squirrel and continuing to drive forward. It also is great, so if you want to help your dog into the car, lift them up for any reason, it's a great feature to have. And then we have the D-ring back here, which you attach the leash to. The harness is fully adjustable, so it's adjustable here in the girth and it's adjustable here in the chest. So you can pretty much, within that size range, get a really good fit on every dog. The other thing that you'll find is our buckles are size specific to that size of harness. Also, the placement of our buckles is made to be comfortable for the dog. So we have our standard side release buckle, which is basically it just releases from the side and drops away. And that will be standard in store. And then we also have, this is called our speed buckle. And what this does, it's great for people that have arthritis or dexterity issues. So you just lift that up, pull it away, and let it drop. And then to close it, you just marry the two halves together and it closes. So it magnetically attracts, but mechanically closes. So that's the nice thing about it as a tool, is that it's safe, it's military grade, so in terms of quality, it's really a nice tool. And we have a different type of buckle on the different sizes of harnesses. So we're very excited to be in Mutts & Company, Central Ohio. You can stop in at the store and see our 22 colors and prints, along with our 20 sizes that are available. If we don't have it in store, we'll be able to special order it for you. All the associates in Mutts & Co will be fully trained on how to use and fit the harness. So you can stop in, try the perfect fit, and take your dog for a spin around the store.